Hey there, YouTubers. All right, something for me to get excited about. I don't know whether you guys will be excited, but I am. New 10th gen motherboard. This is an AsRock Z490 Phantom Gaming 4 motherboard. Got this at Amazon. Cheapest Z490 that I could find, folks. At least when I got it, $129.99. And you may have seen the MSI Gaming Edge Wi-Fi one that I had that was 200. That had Wi-Fi. This one does not, but that was an incredible motherboard. Fortunately for me, I've sold it as part of a computer build, so we no longer have that one. But we do have this this new one here, so let me get it out. Now let me tell you about what's going to be in the video, right? We're going to go over every square inch of this freaking motherboard. I'm going to tell you some stuff about it that you could probably find on their website. But, you know, at least as of today's June 25th, 2020, at least as of today, this is all new news, all right? So let me, let's shut the light off on this thing. I think it's might be reflecting a little too much. So there is what it looks like, all right? And my stand is not tall enough. But so this is going to support all your 10th gen Intel processors, right? From the Celeron all the way to the i9 10900K. Supports AMD Quad Crossfire X. And so we will talk about all the features on the motherboard. This will support RAM up to 4400 megahertz. And if you've seen my B460 ones, you know I've had, I don't know if I'd call it complaints, but you know, I'm disappointed that you're limited on your speed. And so this guy, you know, the sky's the limit, right? All right. Now, before we get into it, also BIOS, there's a new BIOS available as of June 23rd. And I'll try and put a link down below in case you want to see how to update the BIOS. We'll do that probably within the first week, maybe even by tomorrow. These new 10th gen motherboards are definitely running better with the BIOS update. And to be honest with you, I believe that they've had several BIOS updates for this. So eventually we'll show what it is. But since April 29th, they have had... it looks like they've had a couple they've had at least three motherboard updates. All right, let's get this open. So we've covered a little bit about what CPUs this will work with. Actually, before we do that, let's take a look at the back. So I will go over every square inch of this, calling out every part that I can, or excuse me, every component that is on there. On the back, so CPU socket LGA 1200. So what does that mean? Your 8th to 9th gen 1151s are not going to work. CPU is about the same size, but this has 49 more sockets, and there's some other electrical and mechanical aspects of it that are different. So we'll talk about the expansion slots and all the other stuff on here. Now, stuff that I probably may not mention, we'll hopefully call out the fact it does have RGB. And this guy, it looks like you can buy the little Wi-Fi gizmo, key E. So maybe I need to do that for the channel, because I have yet to do that. I've had a couple of these motherboards that have that, and I have not done it. I've been using a expansion card. All right. Let's like I said, let's get it open. So yeah, excited about this one. I have, you know, I think this is the probably the sixth 10th gen motherboard we've had come in, and plans are to get a lot more of these. I wish they weren't so darn expensive. It's one of the more popular things on the channel. Besides, for whatever reason, the i3 9100 that I did the unboxing for, and the i5 9400F. All right, so this is interesting. Usually, you know, if you look at my other videos, they hide all this crap underneath the motherboard. AsRock does a little different. Looks like it's just kind of thrown in here, but whatever. M.2 screw. They only give you one. Some of these guys are giving you two of these, so that's a little maybe a little disappointing. You know, I'm not a fan of the I/O shields. I like them built in, but hey, for this price, when I do my build, I will probably not actually install that because I like to keep these things relatively new, and unless I sell it. So then the whole computer, that is. Here's your driver disk. We'll download this. It's all available at AsRock.com. Manual. Now these guys do a good job on their manuals, all right? So, of course, online support's just as good and a lot easier to read. This has, looks like there might be a few languages in here. And the typeset is really... So yeah, typeset's a little light in that, but really good book. They do a good job. You get 2 SATA 3 cables here, and one of these is a 90-degree out of the 4 connectors. So one has 2 straight ends and one has a straight end and a 90. All right, now for what you guys care about. Oh, guess what? Another M.2. So they actually didn't fail us. Like I said, I'm going to take this out of here. We'll go over every square inch of it, and I'm going to pause it, get it into position. All right, folks, so let's get started. We will talk about all your audio video connectors at the end. Now, this has basically 2x4 plus an additional 4 to enable extreme overclocking is how I would reference that. Now, one thing you'll find out, you can get away with only powering this with 2x4, okay? But if you get a K-type processor or a i9 10900K, you should probably splurge for something like this power supply. So this is my EVGA 850BQ, second one of these I picked up. This guy will have dual rails for CPU power, and that's really what you want to overclock one of these things. All right, so obviously this is where your CPU goes. Once again, 10th gen LGA 1200 in there. Bunch of different types of heat fins here. All right, so let's rotate this. I'm surprised I don't see a CPU fan connector in this area. You guys see it anywhere? Kind of odd. Usually there's one like right here. So this is all the way over here, folks. Does support does have connectors for 2 CPU fans, if I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, so one CPU fan, and then the other you could use for a CPU fan or water pump connector, okay? It would appear the second one, WP, that's water pump there. Now, right next to this, 7 and 8 are going to be, at least if you're looking at the manual, so I might be cheating a little bit. There's your RGB connector, the white one. And right next to that is an addressable LED header. Don't ask me what that one is. Yours truly will probably not use it. 24-pin ATX power. Okay, this is going to come from your power supply. You definitely want to get an ATX power supply to go with this. USB 3.0. Okay, so this is cool, folks. This motherboard actually has 2 of these, which is good. So when I get back to Virginia, my best computer case, I will be able to use this and actually take advantage of all the USB 3.0s in it. Here's a system fan. So at this point, this is the first system fan. Not that you couldn't use one of those probably, but that's the first one that we see. 4 of the 6 SATA 3 connectors here. All right, and here is your RAM slots, DDR4, 288 pin. So I love the other brands, how they will color these, like one's dark gray, one's light gray. And over here it tells you, you know, A1, A2, B1, B2. So most likely if you're, you know, doing dual RAM, you're probably, hopefully I'm not wrong here, you should be using these two if you have 2 sticks of the same RAM. Obviously if you have four of a kind, right, you're going to fill all these. That's a no-brainer. If you have one, you're probably going to, now you might use this one. Hopefully we'll look that up in the manual. I hate to give you guys bad info. Alright, so over here, alright, so I did check the manual. There's nothing in there about the RAM, unless I missed it, but when you boot the BIOS, it may give you a message if you put it in the wrong spot, if you go with one stick, so just keep that in mind. So I think we said it already, or no we didn't. Here's a second system fan header right here. The other 2 USBs right here. Here is one of the M.2 NVMe's that you're going to see. We're going to rotate this. Alright, so you know when you get these nicer motherboards, a lot of times they have different stuff that you're not as familiar with, at least yours truly isn't. So this one here, this is going to be your SPI TPM header, all right, and then next to it is the power LED and speaker header. So the top row is your PC speaker. When you get a, if your case comes with a little gizmo in the packet, that's what that's where that guy's going to go. It's going to take all 4 of those. And I don't know if you guys can actually read that, which side's plus, which side's minus. Alright, so over here, these are your panel connectors. And front row is going to be HDD. The next 2 to the right of it would be the reset switch, power LED, and the power switch back there. And then these guys, this is funny, this is actually not even called out in the that's not called out in the manual, folks. Next door we have the chassis water pump connector, another one of those. Okay, so 3 fan headers. Here's the other USB 3.0, and to the left of that is USB 2.0. Now what I don't see is a second USB 2.0. HD audio here. These are connectors I never use. So obviously that one says it's the COM port header. And then right next to that is another LED header. And then I believe that second one is another RGB LED header, the white one behind it. All right, so a lot of stuff here, folks. Exciting stuff. Now, CMOS battery right here. Okay, like I say in all my videos, if you happen to screw something up in BIOS and it boots up, it goes to black after you made a change in BIOS, usually removing this will get you out of that situation. Alright, so PCI Express 3.0, this is the armor plated one here. Okay, then you've got another one here, and this will support crossfire, so you'll need that connector that goes across. And of course yours truly has not done crossfire for the channel yet, so that might be one of those little projects we do. Now what I don't like is we've got 3 of the dinky ass ones here. Okay, so it kind of sucks. They should have gave us one of the next size up, 4.0 or whatever it is. 3 of these, you know, you can use a Wi-Fi card here, but none of the expansion cards that I have for adding M.2 SATA or NVMe will fit in this, so it's kind of a bummer. Here's that M.2 Wi-Fi we talked about, and then wow, folks, You know, I could have sworn this thing was supposed to have a second M.2, and that would have went right here. Unless it's on the other side, it doesn't exist. So that is really freaking weird. There's some strange stuff about this motherboard. You know, that's different. I've never seen a part that moves except for that lever there. Another system fan header here. A whole lot of, you know, emptiness here. And then over here, this is what kind of freaks me out about this. Part of the reason why it's so cheap. I don't get this, okay? This is really weird. Never seen that on a motherboard. How many motherboards have we gotten in on this channel, folks? A crap load, and I've never seen this garbage. Two USB 2.0s, the PS2, the old style PS2 connector. I complained about this, and somebody that watched the channel, you know, said I should keep my opinion to myself. But you know what? It's my channel. I don't know why they bother with these things, okay? So there you go. USB, so these are 3.0s. This is, one of these is the next gen, whatever that number was. I'd have to look it up. And then there is your Type-C Charlie connector. Of course, you got microphone, headphone, and then a Ethernet there. All right, so if we go back over to this one, this is your USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port, all right? And then we probably didn't call it out, but that's the line in, sorry. All right, folks, so I just looked at the manual. There definitely is nothing on the manual about a second M.2 here, which means this guy is going to have to be my second M.2. They obviously use this motherboard for, not all the connectors and stuff, but use the motherboard itself for a different model, and that model probably has M.2 NVMe there. So that's going to do it for this video, folks. I hope you got something out of it. I will definitely fire this thing up, and we will get rocking and rolling and do some new videos with it. I got to get my Fortnite FPS back up on 1080p low to the 350 range. Or 360 is what the other board got with the i7.